Hello, my friends. Kat here. I hope you're doing really well. Hey, do you want to shine in your online presentations, but do you ever turn up on camera and feel like your real, true, authentic self is kind of hiding behind a bundle of nerves, or you planned your presentation, but it just didn't quite come out as you wanted it to, or maybe you did deliver your presentation and you felt really good about it, but you didn't get the engagement and the response that you really hoped for. Maybe you've tried doing video or doing online events and it hasn't really brought in the results that you want. And you want to be able to present confidently, but also convert your presentations into clients. In this video, I want to share with you 5 of the most costly presentation mistakes that I've seen people make over the years. I've delivered thousands of presentations and I've analyzed many, many presentations. I've worked with business owners for the last 7 years on their presentations. And I want to share with you 5 of what I think is the most costly. And I say costly because if you don't get them right, it's going to cost you. People are going to switch off. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And if people aren't engaged, if they're not hooked in, if they're not interested in what you're saying, then it's very hard to recover from that. So I've discovered that there are 5 common mistakes that a lot of people make in their presentations, and they really have no idea that it's happening, but it's really affecting their trust levels with their audience. It's affecting their impact, their engagement, and of course, their conversions into clients. So if you have a pen and paper, or you got a Google Doc open or something like that, make some notes, because I'm going to be sharing these fatal, often undetected mistakes that can really break your presentation. They make or break whether you follow them or not. So if you're wondering why your presentations aren't converting into clients, this is going to really help you out. So let's have some fun. So here are the 5 mistakes that you want to avoid. The first mistake people make, number 1, is focusing too much on themselves. Focusing too much on themselves. Write that down. By the way, thank you for being here. If you're here live, so good to have you here. Always love knowing that you're here, and please do engage in the comments. I really appreciate it. So when you're presenting, the more that you focus on the audience, the more you're going to be relaxed, the more you're going to be able to just speak from the heart and flow, and be able to stick with the structure that you've created and be creative within it. The more you focus on yourself, the more you'll feel fear, you'll feel nerves, you'll feel self-conscious, because you're thinking about what you're looking like, what you're sounding like. You'll be judging yourself, almost like you're watching yourself and judging it. And you'll be thinking about trying to avoid looking bad and really focusing on trying to look good, as opposed to the message that is coming through you. If you're constantly thinking, how am I looking? How am I sounding? What are people thinking? Are people judging me? Then that's going to increase your fear and you're going to reduce your confidence. And it's super important that you come across confident in what you're saying. You need to show up with conviction and certainty in what you're saying. When you focus on your audience rather than yourself, you can get those downloads because you're present. You are with the audience, you have a plan, but you're also open to, if an idea pops in, because you are present, then you get some new insights. Sometimes when I present, it's like I'm educating myself. I'm like, where did that come from? That's really cool, because I'm super present, because I'm not focused on how I'm coming across. So it's about your message coming through you. That's what lowers your fear and helps increase your confidence. I believe that you have a message that needs to get out into the world, and that you have a mission, you have something to achieve here on this planet, something to fulfill. And if you don't do it, then no one else can do it quite like you. So if you focus on the change that you can help bring someone into their life, like you can, what you know, your skills and experience and knowledge and your stories can literally change someone's life. Like imagine our grandmas or our grandmas, like knowing that we could pick up a phone and communicate with the whole world. Like it's mind-blowing. We can share a message and actually change someone's day, change someone's state, change someone's financial, relational, personal situation. I remember what someone said to me once, every day that you're focusing on yourself, someone is suffering. Like, mind blown. Every day that I think about myself and I don't show up on video or I don't launch that online event, someone is struggling a day longer, and someone is struggling right now because they have a problem that you can help them solve. You know enough to help someone have a problem. And if you have a smartphone, you can get on there in an instant and provide solutions for people. It's one of the fastest ways to build trust. But a lot of people are so self-conscious. They put off presenting because they're concerned about what other people think of them and they're scared of judgment. So just remember, it's not about you, it's about your message. Please stop worrying about judgment. It's okay if not everyone resonates with what you say. It's about the people that you can help. You want to speak to them, speak to the people that do want your help, and turn the focus away from yourself and focus on the value that you can offer them. That's how you grow your business. So number one mistake is focusing too much on themselves. Number two is neglecting influence skills. Neglecting influence skills. Great to have you here. If you're here live, if you're here watching the replay, could you give me a hashtag replay? I'd love to know that you're here. And I'd love to know like what is jumping out to you in this video. So influence is the ability to inspire someone to take action. And the reason I have such a strong conviction around influence is that other people went all in on their conviction and influenced me to invest in myself, to invest in my business, to invest in education. And that is what gave me freedom. That's what gave me lifestyle freedom. That is why I can work for myself and I don't have to go to a job and I don't have to do anything I don't want to do because I know how to make money, because someone went all in on their influence to show me the power of influencing, the power of investing into my business and into my life and into myself through education. So influencing someone to improve the quality of their life through their business, their freedom actually depends on it, on making that change. And you can be a conduit of that change. When I was broke and struggling, people showed me what's possible. People influenced me and they didn't give up on me having a breakthrough. They influenced me and it gave me incredible freedom. So I'm super grateful to all the mentors, to Ben and Cham and Sean and Nettie D and Taki and Matt and Grace and everyone. So many mentors that have been all in on their influence and their conviction that imparted to me a conviction. And my life's never been the same. So I'll never give up on influencing someone who wants to change their life, because no one deserves to suffer. And I know that presenting is a really powerful way to influence people and to go all in on helping them. Everybody deserves that life of freedom. And I'll do whatever it takes to influence people, not in a convincing way, not in a pushy way, but in a way that they can have a breakthrough, in a way that's elegant, in a way that's respectful and kind. But influence is the thing that gets someone to take an action. So if you're not influencing someone to take action, then is your presentation actually valuable? So in order to influence people, we need to have confidence. You need to prize yourself. You need to think of yourself as the prize. You are the prize. You are the prize. I want you to say it out loud. I'm the prize. Say it out loud. I'm the prize. The reason why I can bring confidence is because I'm over 10,000 hours in, because I'm 18 years in. It's not arrogance. It's just I'm confident in my area. And because of that, I know that I can influence people to be confident in their area. So that's number two, neglecting influence skills. Hope you're taking notes. Number three, losing the audience with extremes. Losing the audience with extremes. I teach a concept to my clients called the speaking sweet spot. And I talk about the sweet spot in the middle of these extremes, because there's a number of extremes that people take. A lot of people take, they sit on one end or the other. And I recommend that you find the balance, that you strike the sweet spot if you want to be an engaging presenter. So this mistake is about not striking that balance in a presentation. There are a lot of ways people do this. One way people do it is by going to the extreme of either being too underwhelming. You underwhelm people, like, boring, I've heard it all before, or too overwhelming, where people are giving way too much information. So being underwhelming, this is when you come across as boring or same old. People have heard it all before. You're not captivating the audience. You're not bringing energy. You're not bringing enthusiasm. You're not engaging people. You don't have confidence. Maybe you're speaking with really, really low energy, and there's no impact. And this can really lead to people being, not interested and not engaged, switching off, leaving. So this often happens when people present information that's really, really way too fast paced or way too slow, or that people give a high level of technicality, like technical details, slides with a whole heap of heaps of words on them. Being overwhelming. This is where you give way too much information. It's too complex. You've crammed all this information and the audience leaves confused. They leave overwhelmed. They leave feeling like they've just got a massive to-do list. They don't understand it. And a lot of speakers actually do this purposely so that people sign up. So, just overwhelm them. So they're like, I need help. I need your program. And I think for me, that's unethical. I want people to walk away with value, as much value as they can, but value is not cramming as much as humanly possible. Novices, they try and teach everything they know. Professionals, they leave their audience hungry for more. They provide value, but they also show that there's so much more to learn. They also won't buy from you. People won't buy from you if they think that they've got everything that they need. So both of these extremes can really reduce the impact of having a compelling message. So I recommend you aim for that middle ground. I hope this is helping. Hey, Christine, great to have you here. Hey, Gaynor, good to have you here. If you're here, just give me a hashtag live. I'd love to know that you're here. Hey, what's standing out for you so far? What's standing out? What's kind of like, I need to remember that, or that's a really good reminder. Just pop it in the comments. What's standing out for you so far? I'd love to know. So number 4, the fourth mistake is being unprofessional. We all know that we need to be professional, but what does that actually look like? I believe being professional means thinking through every single element of your presentation thoroughly. A lot of people put together a talk and they haven't really put a lot of thought into what's going to be engaging, what's going to be interesting questions to ask your audience that really get them thinking. So it's the actual presentation itself, making sure it's really set at the right level, it's set at the right stage that people are at. It's not too technical and it's not too thin where people are like, it's just a whole lot of fluff. It's a good balance between logic and emotion. So there's a whole lot that goes into an actual presentation. There's over 20 pillars that I teach in my program, but it's also thinking through having a nice, quiet environment. So thinking through your audio, making sure that your computer has a really good mic, or you're using a mic, you don't have background noise, thinking through visuals, making sure that you've got a good lighting system. There's a whole lot of things to think about when it comes to being professional, making sure that your background is professional, that you don't have a whole lot of mess, clothes, movement in your background, making sure that your computer is set up at eye level, making sure you start on time, making sure that you have nice professional PowerPoints if you're using slides, practicing your talk before you deliver it. All these things are part of being professional. By the way, it doesn't mean you can't be personable. Of course, be yourself, be human, be real, be fun, be playful, add humor, add flavor. We want to do that. That's part of bringing an engaging, fun, exciting presentation. And by the way, professionalism is not perfectionism. It's about giving as much value as you can, but you can't wait till you got everything perfect. You can still be professional without being perfect. And remember that the more value you give, the more you'll get a reputation for being valuable. And that's where you get word of mouth referrals. Number five mistake, costly mistake people make is speaking without structure. Speaking without structure. People want organized knowledge. People want organized knowledge. People pay for it. When you're creating an event, you want to make sure that you don't just try and pour out all these random ideas and try and teach all these things that you know about the topic. You don't want to give people a whole lot of information and leave them trying to figure out what to do. You want to make it digestible. You want to make it really palatable. You want to break it down into steps and pillars and formulas and diagrams. The best speakers in the world have organized their information into a structure. If you think the best presenters in the world are just winging it and speaking intuitively, believe me, they're not. They're not. It's also good to refer people back to other parts of your talk. So you're not just doing this big extreme, but you're doing a review. You don't just take them from here all the way through to here, but you show them where they're at in the system. And you also want to make sure when you're delivering your content that you use great images during your event so people can really see what you're explaining. Some people have a fear that structure is really restricting and boring, but the truth is we can be creative within a structure. We can use a framework and then add our own flavor and flair to it. And the question really is, are you talking so that you enjoy it or so that your audience enjoys it? Because it's all about the audience. And that's why I use frameworks for everything I do, because people love to follow along when it's really clear and when they know where they're at. And it allows you to kind of put your superpowers within that. It doesn't box you. It actually amplifies more of you. So I hope that has been really helpful. I'd love to know what has stood out to you. What's been some of the key things that you've got from this? Hey, Laura, great to have you here. What's some of the key things that have stood out to you? The world is not looking for perfect presenters. The world is looking for presenters that share from the heart, share from experience, organize their knowledge, share value. And as imperfect presenters, we can still make a really significant impact. So you can still make some of these mistakes and still make an impact. But the more that we work on these things and we get better and better at being more professional, about using a structure, about not being too overwhelming or underwhelming, all these things, we become more and more effective at our message actually landing. I'm so dedicated to helping women become great presenters, because when you move people with your message, you can create real change in people's lives, transformation, and you can grow a truly influential, powerful business that has that important skill set of presenting. Presenting is such an important skill set to add to your business. This is part of my signature framework that I teach to my clients. And it's also something that I teach in my workshop called How to Grow Your Coaching Business with Online Events. And I ran this yesterday, but I'm also running it on Saturday. So if you missed it yesterday, and if you want to know more about how to fill your programs and sell more of your services, I share my best strategies in this workshop. It is a one-day workshop. It is free. It's online. I go into depth into my proven system that I've developed over the last decade and running 350 plus events. And I'm taking the best of what I've learned and what I've trialed and errored along the way and taken those learnings and put it into a really great formula. I'm going through the formula of how to create a really compelling presentation, how to market your event to attract the right audience, how to deliver your event with impact so it's really engaging. If you want to know more about it, just pop the word workshop into the comments, just write the word workshop and I'll send the details out to you. If you've ever wanted a formula to follow for your event so that they actually convert to clients, so you can actually make an income from your presentations, just drop the word workshop or just DM me the word workshop. So just a quick review of the 5 most costly presentation mistakes. Number 1, focusing on themselves. Number 2, neglecting influence skills. Number 3, losing the audience with extremes. Number 4, being unprofessional. And number 5, speaking without structure. So until next time, my friends, keep showing up, keep sharing your message, because the world needs your words. Big love. Hope to see you soon. And just drop workshop if you want to hear more about it, and I'll reach out to you. By the way, please pop in the comments. What did you like about this video? What was good? What stood out? What made sense? What was your favorite of those 5? Please drop it in the comments. I reply to all the comments. I love jumping off and reading them. So thank you for being here live. Thank you for being here if you're on the replay. Have a beautiful evening. Talk to you soon. Big love. Bye.